The 1997 Bhikkhuni Ordination, 25th anniversary. Namo Bodhaya. Sanghamitta Day greetings with reverence to our senior Mahatheras and Mahatheris of the Maha Bodhi Society and among our honored guests and viewers. My warm greetings with much appreciation to our leading Bhikkhuni coordinators of United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International and to all our guests and viewers. This presentation is dedicated to the memory of our great and fully awakened Arahati Bhikkhuni forebear Sanghamitta Theri and her great company of Dhammadutta Bhikkhunis, to Maha Arahati Anula Tisa Theri, the first 1,000 Bhikkhunis of the island of Lanka to fully awaken, and to all the great Sangha of the awakened lineage of the Buddha throughout time. I'll be speaking about the 1997 Bhikkhuni ordination in the Ananda Sima at the International Buddhist Meditation Center in Los Angeles, as we continue our commemoration of the 25-year anniversaries of the Bhikkhuni ordinations leading to the resuscitation and revival of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. 1 year ago, as mentioned, Maha Bodhi Society of India and our newly formed United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International celebrated the 25-year anniversary of the 1996 Bhikkhuni ordination in Sarnath. This coming February 2023 will celebrate and commemorate the 1998 International Bhikkhuni ordination in Bodhgaya, through both of which the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha of Sri Lanka and South Asia were revived. The November 1997 ordination was in between them. In 1997, after hearing about the 1996 Sarnath ordination, Venerable Karuna Dhamma, the first Bhikkhuni ordained in America in 1976, then abbess of International Buddhist Meditation Center, IBMC of Los Angeles, was inspired to organize a grand ordination at IBMC. Venerable Dr. Heavenpola Ratanasara, Sangha Nayaka for the Western Hemisphere at the adjacent College for Buddhist Studies, was in support. Unlike other grand ordinations at IBMC, in 1997, all the candidates accepted for Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni ordination had strong Theravada connections and leanings. They were all from Theravada traditions of Sri Lanka and Nepal, plus one applicant born in the United States was accepted, who had been in Europe and in India, and then training with the Korean Bhikkhuni Sangha with a leading Bhikkhuni teacher and ordination master. The Sri Lankan candidate had already been a 10-precept nun for more than 10 years. The Nepali candidate had already been an 8-precept anagarika for several years as well. But the American candidate was 4 years since she'd undertaken Nisayan Papaja with her Korean Bhikkhuni mentor, and 2 years since seminary ordination. All told, it had been nearly 10 years as an anagarika, 10-preceptor, and seminary. The ordination program was 1 month, the training consisting of 3 weeks of preparatory instruction, practice, and examinations, followed by 1 week of post-ordination training. Theravada Bhikkhu teachers, including Venerable Dr. Ratanasara, gave regular teachings, and Venerable Shanti gave practice instructions. Bhikkhunis of Vietnamese traditions gave hands-on instruction and examination, with participation from local Korean Bhikkhunis as well. Just as the ordination training program was beginning, word came that Ayakema had passed away. She had lived with cancer for 8 years. It was November 2nd, 1997. Ayakema was a Shakyadita founder and with Venerable Karuna Dhamma had been active in Shakyadita USA. She was a great luminary and exemplar. The merits of the 1997 ordination training, teachings, and practice were dedicated to her. Serving as chief organizer, Venerable Karuna Dhamma's second assistant, day by day, the American seminary went with Venerable Karuna Dhamma for in-person visits to the places of all the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Sanghas around LA to introduce the ordination to them and request and invite their participation. They visited LA's Sri Lankan and Thai temples and also the Korean temples, the count of supporting and participating Sangha steadily increased. Venerable Dr. Havenpola Rajanasar would serve as Bhikkhu Upajjhaya, with Venerable Havenpola Shanti as Kamawajacharya. At Los Angeles Buddhist Vihara, Most Venerable Ahankama Dhammarama accepted invitation to join as Vice Upajjhaya, Anusavanacharya, with another supported bhikkhu from the LA Buddhist Vihara. At the Dhammavijaya Buddhist Vihara, the Venerable Bhikkhu Sangha and residents pledged their attendance. At Wat Thai LA, the senior abbot, Prathamaraj could not join but offered his blessings and promised 4 bhikkhus from Wat Thai LA. 2 more bhikkhus from Thai Forest Monastery and Wat Lao Buddha also promised to join, totaling 15 members of the Venerable Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha of the Sri Lankan Siam Upaliwangsa and Amarapura Nikayas and the Thai Siam Upaliwangsa Mahanikaya traditions. 6 leading members of the Korean Bhikkhu Sangha also gave their blessings and promised to join as witnessing masters, as well as 2 bhikkhunis. 5 bhikkhunīs ordained in Vietnamese Dharmaguptaka Lam Te tradition also gave their blessings and pledged to join, preparing to be the ordaining Bhikkhuni Sangha. However, the lesson to all organizers, then 1 Vietnamese bhikkhuni and 1 Korean bhikkhuni canceled. Only 5 bhikkhunis were then confirmed, the bare minimum. Bhante Rajanasara's health was failing. He faithfully kept up teaching the candidates as much as he could, while lying down in a reclining chair, face pale and short of breath. His dedication and care for the Sangha was great, but his diabetes and other age-related health conditions were pressing in. All felt the urgency of anicca in the training. It was uncertain whether he would be able to join the ordination or not. On the day of the ordination, Bhante Ratanasara was up. The line of the processing Sangha into the Anandasima Hall was long and radiant. In the hall, the senior leading members of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha were seated in front on the viewer's left side, right hand of the Buddha, with officials foremost, and the members of Vietnamese Bhikkhuni Sangha, front and right. The 4 Bhikkhu Bhikkhuni higher ordination candidates, 1 bhikkhu and 3 bhikkhunis were front and center. Around 200 assembled members of the Sangha, Buddhist teachers, and attending well-wishers were gathered. When all settled, it was noticed there was 1 empty seat in the front right in the Bhikkhuni Sangha section. The bhikkhunis were counted and came up 1 short. Missing bhikkhuni was called on mobile. Sick with terrible flu, she apologized, asking to give her blessings, chanta, to go ahead without her. Bhante Ratanasara noted to all that the minimum in-person quorum outside the Indian Madhyadesha was 5. Even though the missing bhikkhuni gave her chanda in person to another bhikkhuni who quickly went to visit her just 2 blocks away. At the same time, more quick calls were made. No other bhikkhunis were available in the area. Then Bhante Ratanasara began to speak out strongly and clearly to the assembly. This was noteworthy as his health had recently been so poor and his voice had not been strong. Anujanami bhikkhue, bhikkhuhi, bhikkhuniyo, upasampade tunti. Bhikkhus, I allow you to ordain bhikkhunīs. Bhante Ratanasara then explained to the assembly that these canonical words were originally the Buddha's injunction to the Bhikkhu Sangha, and that bhikkhuni teachers were later called upon to give aspirants examination in sensitive matters. So dual ordination arose. He noted that Bhikkhuni Sangha over the past weeks had already given full instruction and exam to the female candidates. Now it was merely a formality to confirm. He asked the assembled bhikkhunis to formally confirm and said then that the Bhikkhuni ordination candidates would also go through the full ordination procedure after that with the Bhikkhu Sangha together with and just the same as the Bhikkhu ordination candidate. The 3 Bhikkhuni candidates were asked to learn the correct answers to the polytext exam on the spot in one instruction. Bhante Ratanasara then also noted and asked to consider that some of the most eminent and bright of well-educated masters and scholars, both in Sri Lanka and Burma, had already recommended from years ago this method he was proposing now being perhaps the best and soundest method to revive the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. Only there was also a wish to respect the existent bhikkhunis, and the East Asian Sanghas in gratitude wished to return the gift of the lineage they had received from Sri Lanka. Bhante Ratanasara then explained and proposed his understanding that there would be just one Sanghakama by the Bhikkhu Sangha, because while 4 bhikkhus or 4 bhikkhunis together could not be ordained together with one kama, 3 is the limit. This would be 1 bhikkhu and 3 bhikkhunis, not surpassing the limit, not ordaining a bhikkhu sangha, nor ordaining a bhikkhuni sangha. Such was Bhante's deep, vast, and quick Vinaya knowledge. The American seminary felt such admiration arise in her heart. She aspired to learn and gain such ready knowledge herself. 6 of the Theravada bhikkhus present were Maha Theras, and another 6 were Theras. The number allowed by Vinaya to be ordained together was familiar to them. They nodded, considered, discussed briefly, and then agreed. The procedure now agreed upon was further clarified. First, there would be Pabaja and Samanera Sika again for the Sri Lankan method. Then exam with the bhikkhunis for the women candidates, then the full procedure of Upasampada for all 4 candidates with the Bhikkhu Sangha. There was consensus. It was announced resoundingly, the Sangha is in harmony. During the Sanghakama and the admonition, it seemed as if the whole hall was thundering and roaring resoundingly with good energy, as if deva drums and trumpets were sounding. And so it came to be that, fully ordained on 22 November 1997, 2540 BE, in the Anandasima Hall at International Buddhist Meditation Center were Venerable Bhikkhu Parakande Arya Prabodhi from Sri Lanka, Venerable Bhikkhuni Mahagoda Sumeta from Sri Lanka, Venerable Bhikkhuni Sakyani Tathaloka from USA, Venerable Bhikkhuni Ruja Karuna from Nepal. The name given by my Korean Venerable Bhikkhuni mentor, Tathaloka, in Korean, Sok Yogwang. The instructing and examining bhikkhunis, Sons Quorum, the ordaining Bhikkhu Sangha, the witnessing Korean Bhikkhu Sangha, witnessing Vietnamese tradition bhikkhus. Because what happened on the day was somewhat different than what was planned, the printed programs and the ordination certificates printed at the printer beforehand could not accurately reflect what occurred. So later corrected certificates were made to serve in lieu of the originals. An example. This is mine. As far as it's known to the speaker, this was the first contemporary recorded occasion where the Theravada Bhikkhu Sangha used the ancient injunction of the Buddha, recommended by highly knowledgeable great masters of the 20th century, to give Theravada Bhikkhuni Ordination by the Theravada Bhikkhu Sangha. About photos. Noting when I returned to Asia after completing basic post-Upasampada training followed by retreat, I traveled light and left my big album of ordination photos behind at the hermitage where I'd stayed for 3 years retreat. All that now remains are scans of a few very poor quality photocopies of photocopies included in the photocopy of a visa application. These are shared here as noted, together with similar equivalent representative photos from other years' IBMC ordinations to be able to see and understand easily. Grand Ordination commemorative booklet, banner, welcome to the Grand Ordination, Sangha procession. This is November 22nd, 1997. In the center is Bhante Ratanasara. On the right, Bhante Shanti. Next to, on the left, is Venerable Karuna Dhamma. Behind, a long line of the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha. Procession coming up to the Anandasima Hall. And 1997, candidates are here with Bhikkhuni instructors, receiving instruction in the requisites. Bhikkhuni teachers and instructors. Here in 1997, Bhante Shanti is giving instruction in the requisites with assistance from Bhikkhuni instructors. This is Bhikkhuni helping out. This is me. This is Venerable Mahagoda Sumeta. This is Venerable Ruja Karuna. Bhante Shanti. 1997 here with Venerable Bhikkhu Sangha. This is Bhante Ratanasara and Bhante Dhammarama, Pratamavitet, and Venerable Bhikkhu Sangha seated here. So Bhikkhunis observing. This is Venerable Bhikkhuni Sumeta here in front of them. Our Upajjhaya, Bhante Ratanasara, our Vice Upajjhaya, Bhante Dhammarama, giving the Anusavana. Big smiles and happiness after the Grand Ordination. Bhante Ratanasara, Bhante Dhammarama, Bhikkhu Sangha, and our organizer, Venerable Karuna Dhamma. In gratitude and commemoration to our Venerable Bhikkhu Upajjhaya, passed away in 2000 at age 80. And in gratitude and commemoration to Venerable Karuna Dhamma, our Bhikkhuni Upasampada organizer, who passed away in 2014 at age 73. And gratitude to our Vice Upajjhaya, Bhante Dhammarama, now age 97, the eldest Theravada monk in North America. We're paying respects to him here. This is me with, and those Bhikkhunis I've served as preceptor for. Here's Bhante Dhammarama with Bhante Shanti. Here I am. Also gratitude to the late Lungtia Prathamaraj Anuwat for his blessings and generosity. And to Praraj Tamavitet, now Pratepmongkol Vitet, now at age 90, the eldest Thai monk in America. Appreciation to all the monks at Wat Thai LA who gave support. It was less than 4 months later, in March of 1998, that the ancient practice of all Theravada dual Bhikkhuni ordination would be revived in Sri Lanka, now practiced regularly once again for the past nearly, as of this presentation, 25 years since then. We'll learn more about this with UTBSI during the 25-year anniversary of this great event in 2023. Gratitude first and last to the Buddha and the Dhamma, to Sanghamitta Theri, Anulatisa Theri, and all the Arahant Sangha, to all noble Kaya Nimittas, and to all benefactors who have supported practicing in this noble way. The end of the 1997 Bhikkhuni Ordination 25th Anniversary presentation. Thank you for your patient listening. Chirang Titatu Buddha.